This is just a video showing you guys how I create physical discs for my Dragon computer using WAV files. So I recently picked up a disk drive for my Dragon, but the problem is I don't have any software for it. So to remedy this problem, I've decided to create my own disks using WAV files that I found on the internet. So before we can start making any disks, we need to first format a disk. So while that's formatting, we'll come over here, and I don't know how well you can see the list of waves, but we'll just pick out one that we want to make a physical disk from. So in this case, I'll create a disk game of Berserk. So to do that, we have to load the waves into the Dragon the same as we would a cassette file, because obviously waves are just a more audio friendly version of the cassette program. And I have my phone connected to my Dragon using a Bluetooth connector, which is in turn connected to the cassette cable and connected to the back of the Dragon. Now I could have just as easily connected the cassette cable directly to the phone's headphone jack, but in this particular case I found that the audio levels being output by this phone were not consistent, and the Dragon didn't always recognize the software that was being loaded into it. So to remedy this problem, I picked up a Bluetooth adapter, and I found that the Dragon can hear all of the software using this. So now that the disk is formatted, we can just verify that. And the disk is formatted and blank. So now we can load the software on. And because the WAV files are essentially just cassette files, we can load them in the same as we would if it was a physical cassette. And we'll come over here. And it's now playing the WAV file for Berserk. And the Dragon has found it, and it's loading it. Now obviously, because it's a cassette file, it's going to take just as long as a physical cassette to load. So while we wait for that to load, I can show you guys my cute little phone holder here. That's halfway loaded now. And again, it's still loading it as if I was loading it from a physical cassette. And that's almost done. Alright, so that's loaded into the Dragon. But before we can save it to disk, we need to find out the start, end, and execution address because it's a machine language program. So to do that, we can just peek those numbers. That's going to give our start address. That's going to give our end address. and our execution address. So now we can save the game Berserk, comma, start, end, and execution address. So that should be saving to the disk that we just formatted. We can verify that by doing a directory of that disk. So let's shut the Dragon off. And again, we'll do a directory. And we can load the game. And we have success. We've just created the game Berserk on disk and loaded it.